folks, welcome again. Another edition of Coming Apocalypse. And sometimes when you start thinking about the coming apocalypse, you got to start thinking about all the different signs in the Bible, including famines. And I always thought of famines based on no rain, crops won't grow, that kind of thing. But now I'm starting to recognize maybe famines come from mismanagement of governments. And maybe it's being done purposely to control the people. Can food and water be used as a weapon? Well, let me share with you something before we bring in our guest, an expert, to help us understand what's really happening here. This is the USDA government website, and right out of the blocks, the top says access to food. And this is the response of the government. There are currently no nationwide shortages of food, although in some cases, the inventory of certain foods at your grocery store might be temporarily low before stores can restock. But there is no food production and manufacturing shortage. There's no disruption in the supply chain. Let's go right now to Ronnie McMullen from GetTheTea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. Ronnie, happy holidays. We're flowing with food and goodies.
Yippee-yi-yay. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing really good, really good. A little cool front is kind of swept through Florida, but it's perfect. It's about 70 degrees. And I'd say it's pretty nice there in Arizona where you're at.
Oh, yeah. It's nice. It's nice.
So the government says there is no problem. There's 117 boats right now off the coast of Long Island of California with a 17 days before each boat will get unloaded. Shelves are empty all across America, and the price of food is at 40% higher than it was this time last year. Gasoline is 35% higher. I mean, energy costs are 40% higher, but there's no problem. And Thanksgiving dinner's coming. We know there's the homeless, there's the helpless, there's the disabled, there's the elderly. Who's going to hurt the most come Thanksgiving, Christmas? What is really going on, Ronnie?
That's probably the $1 million question is what's really going on. If there's food shortages, my question would be, how did we have a food shortage? And if there's a food shortage, and according to, your article there is no food shortage, then the question now arises, well, if there's no food shortage, why has food gone up 40%? Which, by the way, the government knows nothing about numbers, so the numbers are probably skewed, and I don't think it's 40%. It might have been 40% for the last 6 months, but it is not 40% for a year. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
So they're skewing the numbers, and I think they're skewing the numbers on other issues, hence. So whether that be a good number or a bad number, those numbers are skewed as well. So there's just so many changes going on. But I do understand we have ships in Long Beach that need to be unloaded. And where are those ships mostly come from? China.
Right.
But we're getting ready. Taiwan and China are not doing well together. And I would ask you, who is Taiwan's ally? We are.
Yes, we're supposed to.
So if Taiwan is going to go head to head with China, first of all, Taiwan won't last very long. China's going to overpower them. You don't wake up the sleeping giant, slap its face, and go back to bed. So that means then Taiwan goes, hey, we're hurting. Guess who's going to come to rescue? That means, and this is going to happen, but the only thing that's interesting is they're going to do this after the wet taco falls out, because the taco's got to fall out. And we need to replenish the taco, and you replenish the taco with war because war makes money. And
So war is the only solution to fix our food supply and supply chain problem?
According to the elites, yes. But we've got to go all the way. It needs to go bad enough to where when we wake up the banks are closed. That kind of bad. In other words, this is going to make 1929 look like a circus. So, and here's the thing is this is scary stuff. This is really scary stuff. The taco's going to drop out. All we're going to be left with is a little bit of tortilla. So that's the crumbs. You asked me before we went on air, you said, how's things going? And I said, well, I feel like I'm in prison and being fed 2 peas. That's what they want us to feel, and they want us, it's like hit them and then hit them again and then hit them again. They don't want us speaking, and pay attention to this line. They don't want us speaking our peace or our truth. That is what they do not want. Go along with the program. Go along with the. We're seeing that with the big media. Media is the sniper to all of this. You do what we say or we take you out. So if you don't say the right thing, you're eliminated. You're gone. And so now the people that are, trying to help are fearful of telling the truth on their channels or on anywhere that there's a media outlet. They're afraid to say something because it's ridicule or it's elimination. This reminds me of the days of the 30s with Hitler. So if this is the truth, and I believe it is, this is where we're headed because the narrative is already, there's the narrative, follow the narrative. And if you don't follow it, then you are a problem. And if you're a problem child, then you're considered a domestic terrorist. And this is where it gets really ugly. So the taco's got to give out and they've got to fix the taco because what they've done is they've overspent.
Yeah.
This Green New Deal is funnier than Bugs Bunny.
Well, what is this $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill? How much of it is going for the Green New Deal, which I don't even know what they're doing with that money?
Well, and they're not doing anything green. What they're doing is these are, in my opinion, just my opinion, these are fancy prisons. You're going to be living in a 10 by 10 or a 20 by 10, 200 square foot little apartment. They're going to give you a little electric bicycle to go to work. Your work's going to be within a mile. This is all by design. Agenda 21 started this, and this is all by design. So, and if you say, wait a second, I want to own my house. I want to work. I want to have a car. Oh, car runs on gasoline. Can't have a car. Well, how about an electric car? Elon Musk is in that one. And my question is, what are you going to do with all those expensive Tesla cars when we're not allowed to own anything? They're getting ready to tank, and they want to tank coal, gas. So we are in, and there's still time for us to change this terrible thing that's this terrible happening. This is going to be interesting if it ever gets recorded in a history book. But there's still time, and the time is for us to stand up. And there's a lot of other things, but of course we can't talk about that because we're silenced. So people read between the lines of what I'm saying. It's time to stand up and let your voice be heard. Contact your senators and your congressmen and say, this is a bunch of crud. And just let them know that, hey, whether it amounts to anything or not, you won't have a job unless you start listening to the people.
Citizen containment is one of the terms they use, and that's when they keep citizens in very small, tiny living spaces or apartments, and just like you said, can't travel no more. You're not allowed to travel. You get electric bicycle, maybe a bicycle you can pedal, or maybe an electric one, and you go to work. You got to work within a mile of your home. This is it. It's citizen containment. You can't own property no more, which is totally unconstitutional. This sounds like a communist hostile takeover of the greatest nation in the world. And so this is causing my bowels to... Folks, this is Ronnie McMullen, GetTheT.com, www.getthet.com. You can pick up the phone and call in an order right now at 928-308-0408. So, Ronnie, citizen containment, you still say we got time to turn it around, but boy, oh boy, you think 2022 might be the start of a turnaround, or is this
it needs to happen right now.
Yeah, it's a window dressing.
But see, people are going to be fattening the fatted calf with turkey, and then they're going to go into Christmas with all the gifts. I mean, our Vice made a comment and said, buy your Christmas presents early.
Right.
Why? There's something in the works with a big question mark over it. And if I could be free to talk, which I can't, I could tell you about so many things that are really happening right now in a heavy way that will change everything in a bad way. So it's important for us to get a hold of our congressmen and our senators and call them and let them know we're not going to stand for this. We have to reach out, and we can't wait until I'll get to that someday, because, I am really good at ordering product. We're starting to have product problems.
And you get your products from domestically, even here in this country. Am I right?
Yeah, some of the products are in China only because that's where the product grows.
Right.
Not because I need to do China,
Right.
But a lot of it's from India. A lot of it's from, depends where that product grows. There's different climates.
Right.
But we get as much as we can from the U.S. And, it's important to understand that I don't know what's going to happen when we go to head with China, because 80%, maybe 90%, I don't know what the number is, of our products that we get come from China. So you want to talk about a depression? We're going to have a depression, because Amazon will be tanked.
If we go to war with China over Taiwan, China will cut us off from food supply. No question.
Oh, and that's not counting what the West Coast is going to look like.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a disaster, wouldn't it?
And the sit-in authorities know this, and this is why when you go through Santa Barbara, California, it doesn't look like the fancy Santa Barbara that it used to. Palm trees are dying. They don't care. It looks like, honestly, no pun intended, but it looks like Tijuana. It's terrible.
Yep.
And I just think we're so much in trouble. It's just a matter of, will the energy turn? Will God? And it's really, we can sit there and say, God, will we humble ourselves before you? But God is going to probably come back, not to speak for God, but anyway, God would probably come back and say, what have you done?
Yeah, exactly.
What have you done?
He usually always says that. I mean, that's exactly right.
We want to lose weight. The doctor's going to say, what have you done?
What have you done?
Did you walk? Did you change your diet? Did you, what have you done? And God's going to be the same way. He's not just going to give to lazy people. It ain't not going to happen. So we are, we talk about this almost every month, but we're close.
So, when you think about it, we've been talking about the supply chain issue, shortages of this, that, and everything else. We've even been talking about the root cause of it.
Yep.
Every month, little by little, but now we're coming down to really the rubber's meeting the road, and we're starting to see there is a shift going on as far as people's mentality. They're not believing the current administration. They're not believing the media no more.
Right.
So there is a shift, but they don't know what to do. But there's starting to be a mentality shift that, hey, this ain't working. What is going on? This sounds like Bible. People are saying, is this the zombie apocalypse? What's going on here? And I think that now, will we organize? Will we wake up? Will there be an actual?
Well, the way I look at it, corporate's in on this. Pharmaceutical companies are in on this. All the big tech, all the big boys, they're in on this. We want our world. Let's put these people in little corners and make them buy from. This is why Amazon, because you're going to be in your little 10 by 20 place and you're going to order something because you're not allowed to go out shopping. They don't want you going out. They want you to be a rat, or a mouse, whatever that, stuck in a little place. And if you don't conform to their narrative and to their liking, they'll put you in a camp somewhere deep in Alaska where you'll freeze to death and you'll die off and no one will know the better. They have great plans. But here's the thing that we need to realize, and I put this, we can talk about the bad, but we need to bring the good in. There's less of the bad guy than there is of the good guy.
Thank God.
There are more good guys. And we say, oh, yeah, but all the bad guys have guns. Yes, they do. But there's a few good guys that have been in the military, been in the police force, whatever, that are retired or that they've stood down, and they are ready to move on issues as well. So it's important for us to remember that our voice, our thoughts is important, because if we don't make our voice heard, we're going down a road and it's going to hit a brick wall, and it'll be who survives.
Amen. Folks, Ronnie McMullen's with us, getthetea.com. That's www.getthetea.com. Or when you go and look at his specials this month and look at all the great inventory of products that can help you, supplements or the tea for sure, pick up the phone and call an order in today at 928-308-0408. Well, people are having a lot of anxiety this time of year. Depression is always at its highest peak. Suicide is always at the highest points. So food, people either, a lot of times people just don't eat no more and they drink a lot, or they eat a lot, which is bad either way. So help us. Can you give us some pointers here, Ronnie, what to do?
Well, we all like turkey, right? We've got Turkey Day coming. If you eat a lot of turkey, turkey has chemicals in it that make you go to sleep. So that's why when you have a turkey dinner, you're always kind of tie-tie. I call it tie-tie. That's what my grandson says. You're always tired. And just notice that what you're eating, simple carbs are going to bring you down because they turn to sugar. So everybody wants a piece of pie for Thanksgiving. Okay, but stay with an apple or a pumpkin pie. And eat your vegetables. Yes. Stay away from potatoes, or just have very little potatoes. In other words, eat right and don't stuff yourself. For some reason, I don't know what it is, at least the American people, they don't even just have seconds for Thanksgiving. They have thirds and fourths, and then they snack all day. They just keep eating. And then they wonder why they're sicker than... Yes. They wonder why they're like...
I mean... They watch the football game. The next football game comes on right after that. Then the one after that. And so they just keep, then it's the turkey sandwich with mustard. And, and the stuffing.
Oh, yeah, baby. I love stuffing. And the thing is, I'm guilty. Same way. But this year, I'm like, no. In fact, I just went to a naturopath doctor. She said, Ronnie, she goes, you need to make sure that you don't have sugar, you don't have wheat, and you don't have milk. Your body, and I thought this was interesting, her words, your body sees this as poison.
Wait a minute, don't have wheat. I agree with that 100% because bread is really, bread with all the gluten in it. Oh, my Lord. I mean, I'm allergic to that. Don't have wheat, don't have milk.
Don't have milk products, in other words, cheese as well. Because she says it's got casein in it, which I knew about. But casein is an addictive product that makes you want more and more and more. That's why when you have one piece of cheese, you have 5 pieces of cheeses. That's why you have milk. And
so you say is get the tea. Don't
get the tea.
Yeah, drink water or get the tea, because why milk? What's milk's got what in it?
Casein, C-A-S-I-N-E. And basically it's very addictive. And so, and the casein in the milk's not good for the body at all. And this is because things have been altered. This is all about altering. In the old days, cow milk was the way to go. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with no cheese? I mean, this is going to be, but she's like, it depends where you are in your body. And this is what I think. This is, call it whatever you want to call it, conspiracy, but I call it smarts and common sense. They've been poisoning us with our food for a very long time. We won't go into how or why. Well, we touch the why, but not the how. And so if they're changing our food process, then we go night-night. We go tie-tie sleep. We go lethargic. Then they pass the laws and no one stands up because they're too doggone tired to stand up for themselves. And they get run over. It's diabolical, but let me tell you something. It's very much in play. So it's up to us that's why I think they've been coming so hard against the supplements, is because not just big pharma, but they're coming against and those Minerals Plus. Oh, I'm glad you're putting that up there. Minerals Plus is important for you to keep your water supply up, keep your body completely going well. If you have diabetes, you need Minerals Plus big time. Big time.
Immune system,
all kinds of stuff. So that's important, awesome product. But they're planning this. They planned this for a long time, GMOs and many other things. So we have to fight back with our health, get our health up to par. And by the way, when you eat terrible, you think terrible.
Yeah.
You don't feed your brain.
Oh.
And you got to feed your brain. And this is why people are getting cancer, is because it's the food and how they're exercise, all of that. So get the tea.
Get the tea. And you've always said most diseases, if not 90% of them, start in the gut.
Yep.
And if we don't cleanse our colon and keep our digestive system flowing, we get bogged down and there's poisons and toxins. And the food is already polluted so bad with the GMOs and everything else. We got to figure out a way to supplement and to eat right and then supplement, because even eating right, there's so much poisons in the food, right, Ronnie?
Absolutely. You need to take them out. You need to cleanse. The more you cleanse, the better you're going to feel. That's just the way it is. And
what specials are you running? And Brock's putting them up there this month. What are you?
I'm Be On Your Games, the name of the special, and it's our tea, our super tea, moringa, which is incredible for the immune system, definitely supports the immune system, and astaxanthin, which supports the eyes. So it's Be On Your Game. And then we also have, for people that go, hey, I don't want to make the tea, but you want it. If you're not digesting, you're in big trouble. So just think about that if you're watching this channel. If you're not digesting, if you're not going to the bathroom once or twice a day, you're in a big problem. Yep. So this is what the tea will help you with. And the other thing that will help you with it is what's called D365. And we always have a 4-bundle special, but now it's marked off even from that. And there's supply change and prices are going up. And we have to raise our prices a little bit in the next couple of months. But get it while it's cheap. Get it while it's good. And so what I thought I would do is make it really fun, almost as before the prices go up a little bit. I'm going to, for everybody that watches this and orders with me, orders $100 worth of goods. Doesn't matter what you buy, $100 worth of goods. I'm going to give you free shipping, which that's the norm. Okay. But I'm going to give you a free bottle of melatonin.
Oh, good.
And melatonin's wonderful for sleep. It's wonderful for slowing you down. It's not going to drag you out to where you can't get up, but you're just going to kind of relax and go night-night. And this is important. It's so important for us to get our sleep, because that's the time that we heal. Our bodies heal when we're sleeping. So anyway, if you buy $100 at my store at getthetea.com, you're going to get free shipping. You got to put Paul in the coupon code, hit apply. I'll say it again, hit apply, and you're going to get free shipping and a free bottle of melatonin. And that is a deal, especially with all the supply chains going the way they are.
It really is. And matter of fact, of course, melatonin is a safe way, a more natural way to help you to drift off to sleep.
Yep.
Without that
drug effect
in the morning. You wake up refreshed and you get a more REMs. What do you call that? Your deep sleep.
REM, yes.
And so really, listen, folks, getthetea.com. Ronnie's been doing this for years, and he has researched and put together a great formulas of supplements and the tea, the formulas of the tea. Everything he does is natural. It's a way to help you to really have a better life, to have a better health, to have better, because I don't care how much money you make in life or how much success you think you're doing. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And you can't buy health. You can help support it, but you can't buy it. You got to do some work on your own, don't you think, Ronnie?
I do. And most people are living for stuff. In other words, everything they're doing is for stuff. A house, a car, what goes inside the house, what goes on the body, all stuff. We need to live for people.
Amen.
That's what we need to live for people. We need to be there for each other. And this is a time where the bad guys kind of taking over the world. And it's not just the United States, it's the world. And we need to be the leader. Us, the United States, has always been the leader. We need to be the leader and showing everybody else how to stand up for what is ours, stand up for our rights. That needs to be done now.
Did you find it strange? We had the G20 summit, and then we had the COP26. And I thought to myself, what are all these leaders of the world going to talk about? Are they going to talk about the Americans and Europeans left behind with the Afghanistan pullout? Or are they going to talk about the supply chains globally that are shortage? I know America, it's food on the shelves and what have you, but in Europe, there's a serious problem with just heat to fuel their homes this winter. There's shortages in Australia. There's shortages everywhere. And I'm thinking, are they going to talk about these things? But instead, it was all about the Green New Deal and the Green Initiative and the Green New Deal and all of this stuff. I mean, it got Ronnie, are these people in a reality? Is this reality?
Oh, yeah, it's reality. It's Marxism, tyranny. I can go down the list of a bunch of names. But basically, yeah, the Green New Deal, because what is the Green New Deal? It's a way of putting mice in a little box and making them go ring the bell and then go back to their little box. That's what we need to go ring the bell by going to work 8 hours or 10 hours a day. And who is this mirroring? Wake up, America. Who is this mirroring? This is mirroring China. China, you work, you come back, you eat, you sleep, you go back, work. Very little play, very little enjoyment. Let's plant one tree and everybody sit around the tree and go, wow, that's nice. Okay, I got to go back to work. This is where it is. And, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be rude, but America's been kind of fat and sassy for a long time, and they know it. So They're using that against us.
Yes.
They're saying, oh, they're not going to stand up and fight. They're too tired. They're too weak. They're not going to stand up and fight. And we need to. We need to fight for our rights and for our truth. And otherwise, we are going to be another communist China.
When you talk about this, Ronnie, also, if you look at every communist nation, another area that they withhold from the people, besides personal freedoms and expression and selection and exceptionalism, but they also withhold from the people religion, their ability to have faith. They try to kill their spirit. And I just noticed now, I looked at some statistics. In Europe right now, the number of people who actually go to church, I'm not saying everybody has to go to church, but I'm just saying you can pretty well see the standard of faith based on the numbers that go. It's at 15% now. In America, 10 years ago, it was 73% of Americans went to some type of house of worship on a weekly basis. Today, they just came out with it today, we're at 47%, which means there's a serious decline in people's ability to go or wanting to go. Also, we've closed since the pandemic 27,000 churches in America. Those aren't coming back. There's no need for them to come back because people aren't. So do you think that part of this push of the New World Order or this globalist governance movement is to kill the spirit of people's faith?
Absolutely. Why can't you speak about Jesus Christ in China?
You can't. No.
And whether that's right or wrong, the fact that you're not allowed to speak is everything. It's everything. So, and this is where we are with our mass media, which I think they have their sights on us. The mass media, we're not allowed to think. We're not allowed to express. There's no freedom of speech that's been taken away with the big moguls saying, if you say this, we're going to take you off. Okay? That is being explained. And it's done by computer. with analytics. So they immediately pick up one word or two words and they pull you. And then they basically say you can't come back and you got to fight for your right to come back just by one word. And even if you slip a word, in other words, it wasn't intentional, you just say something, boom, the analytics pick it up, pull it off. Same way with our phones. So, I mean, we are at a place, we have all this hybrid type technology that's looking us down, AI, okay, and monitoring our every move. And then when we become so-called terrorists, then the real people come in and say, okay, we got to take care of these people. Where do we put them? It's called happy camps. That's where they're going to put us.
Yeah, but they're not real happy. And so the first thing is limit your rights, limit your freedom, limit your faith, limit your food, and put you in small containers or containment of citizens. And if you don't like it, folks, there is a worse place to go. And they've got gulags in China. They've got work camps and death camps and prison camps in North Korea. I mean, the communist world is not. They know how to do this, and America is in trouble. We got to fight for what's right. Again, getthetea.com, www.getthetea.com. Pick up the phone and call right now. Get an order in there today, 928-308-0408.
On February 5th and 6th, 2021, we gathered doctors, scientists, investigative journalists, military intelligence experts, and Bible scholars for one of the most important webinars of our time, The Virus, Vaccines, Victims, and Victory. We examined the vulnerabilities of the population and explored the verifiable evidence of what's really going on. You can see all these discussions in a DVD set called The Virus, Vaccines, Victims, and Victory. Get it today at paulbegleyprophecy.com.